Stefan Hadfield is another young man who's always had big dreams and goals. He's done it all: whitewater kayaking, rock climbing, skiing, you name it. But with adventure comes risk.
15 months ago, while skiing in Whistler, Canada, Stefan fell from a cliff. He sustained a massive traumatic brain injury. Doctors warned his family he might never recover. Stefan Hadfield has always pushed himself to the limits. He's proven himself as a world record-breaking rock climber, whitewater kayaker and skier.
I used to paddle up some big waterfalls, like 12-metre waterfalls. Just lots of fun stuff. Skiing, I used to do big jumps. I used to be able to do 360s while I was jumping. Just all sorts of fun stuff like that.
So quite the adventurer then. Stefan's well-travelled, and his infectious and outgoing personality has made him many friends all over the world.
I was super fit. I could do anything almost for as long as I wanted, because I was just fit with a lot of things too.
As far as sport went, I was good at climbing, really good. I used to work as a hydrogeologist, and I did a lot of field work for that. And I also went travelling around the world several times.
In February 2007, Stefan was in Canada to train for another extreme adventure, an expedition that would traverse from the South to the North Pole. But while skiing in Whistler, he had an horrific accident, falling off a cliff onto a rocky outcrop.
Stefan, how much can you remember about, or what can you tell me about the accident?
Can you pull the mask off?
I know why I was in Canada for the pole-to-pole training, and I know, not from memory, but from what I heard, as it was a ski crash, falling off a 12-metre cliff. I don't know exactly because I don't remember it, but from the story I heard, I hit my head and broke a lot of the bones on the left side of my skull, and I also broke part of my pelvis. And yeah, from memory, I don't know.
We didn't even know whether he'd survive, because when we were flying over to Canada, we'd get in touch with the cell phone on the way, and they're saying, when are you going to get here? Because we're not sure, in their lingo, we can survive him. In the first several days, we really didn't know what was going to happen, whether he would survive. And then obviously a huge question mark about, if he did, what shape he would be in. Yeah, they were very, very straight. The medical staff and the social workers were all saying this is about as serious an injury as you can get.
Stefan was in a coma for over 2 weeks. When he came to, he couldn't walk or talk. The prognosis was grim. Doctors predicted he would be in a vegetative state for the rest of his life. His friends rallied round, keeping him company and logging his progress through a website. Support flooded in from around the globe.
Because when that first happened, I guess Stefan had some very close friends who were there at the hospital who started developing this blog, and that was done by them. And at the time, it's a big trauma and a big shock, and I wasn't about to be ready to sort of create a website, but they were. And now when you look back, it's also there. It's still there as something we can kind of reflect on.
Initially, Stefan's dad wrote the blogs for him.
Day 128. Stefan is now assessed as being out of post-traumatic amnesia and is receiving more occupational therapy. He's aware that memory and word finding are major challenges. We're working together on word association and developing strategies to describe the elusive words.
On day 295 post-accident, Stefan wrote his first blog.
Life is getting better every day, and I'm keen to do things. The more I get to do, the better it is. Basically, I'm happy that I'm still alive, understanding life, and it feels like I will get better at all sorts of things, like I'm keen to climb, kayak, ski, ride horses, ...
Before he could even think about getting back to the sports he loved, Stefan needed extensive surgery to repair the hole in his skull.
They've put this big piece of plastic back in the side of his head, and I guess that was the main impact area when he was skiing. But he's also had some other injuries as well, like there's a trapdoor on this side here you can see, and that was basically removed so that they could investigate and remove some of the clotting and hematoma and things like this.
Previously a master of several languages, Stefan had to relearn how to speak. He struggled with basic words and sentence structure. Girlfriend Madeline's been a constant supporter and sometime teacher throughout his rehab.
After his accident, we always used to play things like hangman or guess which utensil he was holding when he was drying the dishes and I was washing them, that kind of crazy stuff.
Medics have been astonished by Stefan's recovery, and two teacher friends put together an 18-month recovery program, but he surpassed all the milestones in just 4 months.
They didn't think I'd get through it in 18 months, and they just kept finding that I was achieving goals.
What's it been like for you having to relearn sort of day-to-day tasks?
Some of it was easy enough to just start doing again. But the thing is, right at the start, I just didn't remember much at all.
Barely a year after his accident, Stefan tried climbing again.
I went and tried just the easiest route in the gym, and that was easy. So I just went through each one, the hard, next harder, next harder, next harder. And I made it to do the hardest one in the gym on top rope. And that was really surprising because I hadn't trained at all. It's just nice to be back doing it basically. It's my love for life is about climbing. It's one of the main things. And it's just good that I am allowed to do it and can do it, and I'm not bad at it at all. Kind of much better than I thought I might be.
And do you think doing the climbing as often as you do helps with your rehabilitation?
A little bit. I think the way that it helps the most is it improves the way I feel about being motivated about life. Some things can be depressing. I'm not allowed to drive, I'm not allowed to do some things. But when I can go and climb, and not just easy stuff, I can climb hard stuff now.
Doctors are astounded by Stefan's recovery. He, on the other hand, is not so surprised.
I think the fact that before the injury, I was really fit at sports and smart at intelligence tests, and the fact that I had a happy attitude the whole time, I think that's a lot of the reason that I came out of the injury without a bad result.
If someone had told me this is where he was going to get to at this stage, I would have just found it so hard to believe.
Every brain injury is different, but most people have to relearn simple tasks. Stefan took that one step further and jumped straight back on his unicycle.
Can you rock it backwards and forwards, Steph?
Stefan is showing remarkable results physically.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
But as with many head injuries, there are subtle changes in his personality.
I think there have been changes. I mean, it's inevitable from that degree of injury, and just it's like a relearning process that we've seen. So that has been relearning everything from walking and talking and recognising colours, everything, and I think that's still ongoing. And in a way, we have to learn to get to know each other in subtle ways again. It's like someone growing up fast, really fast.
I have changed. There's certainly things that I don't do now, but also things that I've decided that I've done enough of the extremely competitive sport stuff. And I'm more keen to, rather than compete with people, to offer what I have back to teach others to help them improve. So to be a coach rather than an athlete.
Oh, I think he has recognised, he was very 110% before. So I mean, and I think, as he will say, instead of trying to be, the absolute best at everything, he's pretty happy to be able to do things, just tempering. Perhaps.
How much more recovering do you think that you need to do?
I don't know. I don't know what I don't know that I used to know.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, I don't know.
That makes perfect sense. Stefan's recovery is largely due to his determination. He just keeps pushing himself.
He certainly proves that attitude is everything